Hey everybody, welcome to Spikey Saturday number 275 on the Mana Leek. I'm John as always, and we've got a new set. Finally, Kaldheim is here. We took a break for about a month from Spikey Saturdays. That's because Zendikar was getting kind of stale and it wasn't getting views, and so getting up Saturday morning and recording a video wasn't terribly worth my time. That said, I really liked Zendikar. I liked it up until the final day. I played it the day before the early access because I'll probably never get to play it again. I, in fact, went through and did a pairwise comparison to get a perfectly ordered rank of every draft format that I've drafted enough to have an opinion on. And Zendikar Rising cracked my top 5. It was 5th, but it cracked my top 5. Kaldheim, we'll have to see how it does. I will probably hold my initial impressions on it till the end of the video, if I remember. This will be my 11th draft. There is an interesting trend so far, though. If, and only if, it's the first draft of the day, I can 3-0 in this format. I have a 3-0 as my first draft on Thursday. I have a 3-0 as my first draft on Friday. I have a 3-0 as my first draft today. If it is not the first draft of the day, I 1 and 2. So y'all ready to see a 1 and 2? So we've got a Battle for Bredegard as our rare. So we make a 1/1 human, and then we make a 1/1 elf, and then worst case scenario, we do nothing because both of them died. Probably we make a copy of each of them. We probably don't get copies of much else here. There is unconditional instant speed for tellable removal, however, and we're going to simply gobble that up. There's a Tergrid Shadow, which I really enjoy as well. Tergrid Shadow, which I really quite like. There's a duel. There's Glittering Frost, but this is a pretty easy poison to cut for me, I think. Following that up, we get a Feed the Serpent, which again is unconditional removal. We get a Vega, we get a Clarion Spirit, which I think people are overrating. It's fine, and even if you get a couple, like, in Magic sets produced since the year 2018, a bad card, or a card that I think people overrated, is still 100% playable and perhaps even bordering on good. I think people overrate Clarion Spirit. The downside is you have a 2/2 bear, and almost always you're going to make at least a spirit, and that's fine. But I think people are overrating it. I think people think they're going to make like 7 spirits, and that doesn't happen. But yeah, I think I'd just take a Feed the Serpent. Sticks us on here, cuts black. Packmate is very pickable, Vega is very pickable, Pilfering Hawk is very pickable, and I think the Clarion Spirit is pretty dang pickable. I think it's probably my 3rd pick in this pack. I do think I like Vega just a little bit more, but we're going to take Feed. I have, not to give too many opinions on the format so far, I found it very balmy, so having 2 instant speed unconditional removals is a decent start for me, I would say. 2 of my 3-0s have been Black-Red Berserkers, and Frenzied Raider is a decent pickup for that deck. It's not really competing against much here. I think Way Down is fine. I think people are too down on this. This will often wheel, and I don't think it should, but it often wheels, so we can pick it up if we want it. We might get this back as well if we do end up in Black-Red Berserkers, but let's take that Frenzied Raider. We're going to look to be a little bit aggressive and maybe pick up some Boast if we can find it. But then instead we get a 4th pick Boreal Outrider, which is a very good card. I don't know that I want to be Black-Green Snow, but the black cards here are not interesting. The red card here is not interesting. The Valkyrie is pretty interesting to me, and I think white-black starting with a Valkyrie could be better than trying to go Black-Green Snow. I would much rather be blue-green snow, green-red snow. I don't know about green-black for this Outrider, but it is so powerful. And could be a signal that green is open coming this way. This is a tough pick. I think we take the Outrider. Well, we can take Hailstorm Valkyrie, a card that I literally don't remember seeing or reading in my set review, but apparently I did in fact review it. It's black, it's an angel, it's snowy. Snowland has already been taken out of here in the first 4 picks, so one of these folks is gobbling up snow. But let's take that Valkyrie and see where we go. We get a Demon Bolt, which makes me think that I'm pretty happy to continue pushing black-red here. The green cards aren't pulling me in. Again, the Jarl is fine, but it's not pulling me in. 6th pick, Demon Bolt, though, certainly will. So we can take it to Snow-Covered Mountain here. We're going to need that for the Valkyrie. We're going to need that if we pick up some Frostbites. It's just good to have. Draugr here is also fine. Village Rites, I haven't really played, but it has a place. Vault Robber, I think, may be one of the cards that is, in fact, bad and you shouldn't play it ever. And I'm not on the runes. I know some people are, and I think those are those damn Zoomer Magic players. And I'm a Magic boomer. I've really enjoyed Skull Raid. Skull Raid's been really good. It's the best mind rot they have ever printed, and I'm gonna take it here, I think. Raise the Draugr is kind of up there. But I've just really enjoyed this Skull Raid. The fact that it's a mind rot when it's a mind rot, it's a discard 1, draw 1, and sometimes it's even a draw 2. It's a divination in black. I've really enjoyed playing one of these in the main, and depending on the deck, I've played 2. So this is interesting. Run Amok is actually pretty good in this format, at least early on. There are people doing very dirtily janky stuff, and Run Amoks will just kill them. But I think I just want to go Tergrid Shadow and go a little bit more control-y here. Obviously, you don't want to play this when you have only 2 creatures that are good on the board, but you know you have this in hand, so you just, sandbag a little, take a little bit of extra damage, and then, like 1 for 2 your opponent. Nothing here I want. I'm probably never playing this card. This might be one of the other actually bad cards in the format. I've never played Seize the Spoils. I'm not terribly interested. This is one of the better cards. These are the best cards in the pack, and we're just not heading in that direction. We may just take the Snow-Covered Island just in case we happen to be splashing blue and wanting snow. I don't think there's any real downside here to taking it. That said, I would not play off-color lands, even if I'm desperate for snow, like as a colorless land, sort of. But I've seen some people do it. So here's the way down. Like I said, I thought it would wheel, and it did. I have to take creatures at some point because I have 3, and I'm probably not playing this one. But do I want the Death Knell Berserker? Yes. Yes, I do. Demonic Gifts I've enjoyed quite a bit. It's like a Malachor Rebirth that doesn't cost you 2 life, and it comes back untapped. I think this card's very good for the aggro decks. This is nice to have in the sideboard. Raven Form's interesting. Some people think it's unplayable. Some people think it's amazing. I think it's in the middle. It is very far away from unplayable. If that's how you're rating it right now, you probably need to move that up a little bit. Yes, giving them a bird's a problem, but you're in blue. You should have birds of your own, whether it be the hawk or whether it be the raven or the mistwalkers. You should have things that deal with that 1/1, no problem. Black-red coming at the end here is great. I'll take the Fisher Wizard, and we'll take a Village Rites. And we get a Carador, and here we go, or a Cardor, sorry, a Cardor. Good old 4-door Doom Scourge. This card's amazing. It's just exactly what you want in the aggro deck. So as much as we did get the control cards kind of going on here, we're just going to try to push as hard as we can into black-red aggro, because Cardor, oh man, as long as your opponent's like attack into you doesn't kill you, as long as you can like eat some things or take that damage, you've got such a great attack coming back. If you can eat some of those creatures, they're attacking creatures, so it's going to drain your opponent. Cardor is great. Absolutely great. And very happy to see it here. I think we're rewarded for heading into black-red pretty well. Coming back around, we might get this Dwarven Reinforcements, which has been pretty okay in this deck specifically. Maybe in red-white as well. Red-white's a deck that I probably will never play because it's Battlefield Raptor and runes and equipment, and it's so bad. But if your opponent stumbles, they're dead. but that's not how I play Magic. We've got a Bloodsky Berserker here, which is a Berserker, and we only need to double spell once to make it a 3/3 for 2, which is great. And I think we maybe can double spell in this deck. It's not going to be as common as in like black-white or black-blue, but I think we can maybe pull it off. And I don't really want the dog, although it's been okay, but not great. I do want this Firewalker. This is a pretty dang good card for this deck specifically. And I want the Kennel Master as well. But we'll take the Berserker here and I think feel pretty okay. Third pick, Draugr Necromancer, and we know we're in the right color. This card is fantastic. We're going to look for some more snow mana. Worst case scenario, you exile your opponent's creatures when they die. And if you're in the mirror match, maybe you can cast them. If we can get snow lands, then we can just go nuts. This card is great. And hopefully that means we're getting some very good black cards in the next 2 or 3 picks here. But let's grab that Necromancer. Another Shadow. So I am looking to be kind of aggro. I don't know that I want the second Shadow here. We're at 8 creatures. Faithful is fine. Disciple, I think, might even just be good. And I do now really want that Mountain for the Necromancer and for the Valkyrie. I think these are replaceable enough that we grab the Mountain because now we really have a reason to make sure we have a snow base. So there's a Swamp. There's also a Bloodline Pretender and a Frostbite. Pretender is pretty dang good with Berserkers right now. And that's not as replaceable as an effect. We don't need the Frostbite as much, and we do need creatures. So as much as I really want more Snowlands, we're going to take the Pretender here. Again, our snow is not vital to our deck as it would be in other decks. We just really want access to it. We get a Cardor's Vicious Return. This card is great as well. Again, as long as we have creatures, we're going to need to get that count up ASAP. I would play one of these in this deck, but I'm not going to take it here. Again, I would play a Jarl, but I'm not going to take it here. I try not to play this card. I would probably play a Raise the Draugr if we get some more creatures, but this probably needs to be like the last non-creature spell that we take. And then there's a Squash. And Erase the Draugr. We actually don't have a creature that we can take here. This is the best card by far. Let me shuffle this around a little bit. You are a Foretell spell, so I'll put you on the 2-drop slot, even though you're not a 2-drop. Ditto for poison. Ditto for that. Yeah, we want these 4s down a little bit. We'll take the Raise. It might have some issues getting into the final deck here, but I really want some creatures. Well, there we go. A Fearless Liberator is fine. 2 mana 2/1 that if we have the mana, we can just make a copy of it when it attacks. It's going to boast up our Frenzied Raider. I think it's better than the Giant. I would take the Reinforcements here. It's actually going to build up our creature base even quicker. But let's take that Liberator. So here's a Reinforcements, which I believe I'll take over the Wither Crown. We've got the Shadow and the Feed and the Poison and the Demon Bolt. I think we're pretty good on removal. So let's take this, and it will count as a creature. We'll put it as a 2-drop. We'll definitely take a Kennel Master. So Kennel Master and Mob are going to be sort of our top end here. So our Pretender's looking great. We're now at 8 Berserkers to help boost that up, because we will name Berserker, of course. And with so many Berserkers, the Raise the Draugr gets better as well, since we can pull back a pair of them. But this deck's getting kind of built in 2 packs. I don't know what we're looking for in pack 3. We're probably looking to upgrade that. Maybe replace the Skull Raid. And maybe upgrade our finishers from big ol' commons to like mythic dragons or something. Elderfang Disciple, not a Berserker. A totally fine card. I think it goes in for now, but it probably does not make the cut. And so the nice thing as well is if, you know, we're on pack 2 or pick 2 or pick 3 of pick 2 or pick 3 of pack 3. And there's nothing that's really going to upgrade anything in our deck, and we could just take the Snowland. It's free. So I do want the Smashing Success in the sideboard in case of Terrifying Artifact. Do I want a second copy? Not really. Take another Raise the Draugr. I doubt we're going to play that Dusk Wielder, but you can go in for now. And an Annul. All right, so pack 3. We get the rare Saga for our deck. Make a 2/3 Demon Berserker with Menace. Whenever a Berserker attacks, hey look, we've got 9, 10 with the Shapeshifter. Draw a card and lose a life. And then add red for each Berserker. That's a great card for us. That's going in the pack. We are not taking the Mountain over it. So yeah, this Hasty Berserker would probably replace like the Dusk Wielder for me. We'll see if it comes back. So we're at 25, 24, 23. We have a deck right now. Let's see if we can make the deck better. So here, for example, the Berserker only mildly upgrades like the Death Knell or the Dusk Wielder. So I'm just going to take the Mountain here to make sure that this Necromancer can do a bit more work. And ditto for the Valkyrie. There's a nice little rare here, but not for us. So we'll just take this Mountain. Here, Vengeful Reaper is an upgrade. So is Basalt Ravager. Because Basalt Ravager will most likely count Berserkers and do a lot of damage. This is also a very good card, but I think I'm going to take the Basalt Ravager here. I will play 1 color off duels if I'm really wanting snow. So like I would play this in this deck right now. But we're going to take this Basalt Ravager, and we can cut this Dusk Wielder. So here we're looking at a Frostbite. Does it upgrade anything in our deck? We're at 13, 14-ish creatures. I'll count that as 1, even though it makes 2. I don't think it replaces anything. Maybe it replaces like a Demonic Gifts. Maybe it replaces the Skull Raid. It probably replaces the Skull Raid. So let's take the Skull Raid out, put the Frostbite in. Here we've got another Frostbite or a Run Amok. Do I want to Run Amok over a Demonic Gifts? I might actually. Yeah, let's put the Run Amok in over that. Oof, a Demon Bolt versus a Skull Cairn. Is Demon Bolt upgrading anything? It would be upgrading our Frostbite. I really want that land, though. This land is great. It says your opponent starts at 17 life. It's not a snow land, notably, but it's a very nice pickup. But I mean, if we hit them enough, they'll start at 17 life, essentially. So let's take that Demon Bolt. Here, there's nothing I want. So we'll take a Death Knell in case we need to like lower a curve or something. Yeah, somebody else has the same plan. They're gobbling up all the snow duels. So I might not want this Valkyrie. We are only ever going to pump it once, which is good. But like maybe a Draugr is just better. It lowers our curve too. We'll see about that. We'll see. We'll see what we get here for lands. We get nothing that I want here. We'll take the Rise Upon the Tide, or Return Upon the Tide, but I'm not going to play that card. Berserker might upgrade. Berserker upgrades the Death Knell for sure. 28, 27, 26, 25. We still need 2 cuts, eh? And we're at 14 creatures, so we want to get some spells out of here. Dang, I really... 15 creatures because of the Dwarven reinforcements. Yeah, I guess we do just cut that Frostbolt in favor of the Demon Bolt, because it's just going to be a shock. Almost always. We get another Kennel Master. Do I want a second Kennel Master over a Mob? I might. Mob can come in case of like X ones, but I think a second Kennel Master works here. We'll take another sideboard. Smashing Success. Another Dusk Wielder. These are 2 very good cards to go late. Not very good, but good. And I think I like this deck, and this deck is what 2 of my 3-0s looked like. Unfortunately, both of those 3-0s also included like Bomb rares. Gods. Which is one of my first impressions of the format. 41 cards. Apparently I still have a cut. 14 creatures, 15 with the Dwarven reinforcements. Looking at the Valkyrie, even though I don't want to cut a non-creature. What do we got for non-creatures here? Type creature. I kind of really want the raise and the run. I definitely want the shadow. Definitely want the serpent. Definitely want the reinforcement. This is a creature. There's a chance we're just not a shadow deck, but I feel like every deck's a shadow deck. Maybe there's a chance we're not a raise the Draugr deck. But how many Berserkers are we at? 10 still? And a chance of like raising 2 zombies, and we really want to raise Cardur, we really want to raise Necromancer. Yeah, I think raise has to stay in. There's a chance Run Amok doesn't stay in, but I think we are a combat trick deck. Although with our removal, maybe we're not a combat trick deck, so maybe we do just cut the Run Amok. Then we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, so we're 9, 8. That looks about right to me. Let's go play some Kaldheim. This deck looks decent. I think we lose to magical variants. I dropped my pen, and I need that for playing with. We lose to variants, and we lose to bombs, I think. Yeah, this has been my experience with Kaldheim. Obviously, this has nothing to do with Kaldheim. This has to do with Magic. But having that happen has been utterly brutal. My Discord has a running tally of, I don't even know. I can take a brief look. At least 6 or 7 examples yesterday of like 2 lands in my top 12 or 12 lands in my top 15. It's been nutty. But we'll keep this 2-lander and we'll get rid of, I think, Kennel Master. We're definitely going to do this to try to help if we need. Probably throwing the Valkyrie. Pretender can help as long as we find a land. So yeah, let's pitch the most expensive thing in our hand. Plus we have a second copy of it sitting in our deck. Looks like they mulled as well. Basalt Ravager is not what we're looking for at the moment, but this is going to throw away an angel trying to find a land or a 2-drop or a foretell spell. Well, there's a land. We're still going to pitch that angel. I think that's mostly what this angel is for. Is being thrown away. Well, there's a hasty 3-drop. If they don't do anything, that's going to be 5 damage on their turn. That's going to be a quarter of their life total. They're going to pass the turn, so zoom zoom. They do have an instant speed effect. Curious what it is. Curious what it is. It might be the double strike spell, which is obnoxious. This is not worthless because we can throw it away to Cardur. And we can just deal 3 damage to their face. So I will not sack that creature and take the 1. We will Cardur, sack this creature and deal 3 to their face. Deal another 2 to their face. Next turn we get to discard a card. Probably the Basalt Ravager, because we get back next turn as a 5/3 haste. And it's going to shock something with the Bloodline Pretender and the Berserker out. They pitch a Kaya. So we dodged a little bit of a bullet there. Berserker. And we'll foretell this Demon Bolt so we have it up as well. So they are probably just dead. They're at 8. Next turn we kill whatever they play, and they're going to take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we should have named Giant on this, but it doesn't matter. They're dead. And like I said, this has been my experience. Land issues, I mean, these are very bad land issues, but land issues have utterly wrecked this game. Or this format. I said I was going to keep my opinions to the end. Because people get mad when I don't necessarily like a format right away. Yeah, we'll keep those till the end. Yeah. So, I mean, that wasn't much of a matchup. We know that we're massively in trouble with Kaya. If they play that, we're dead. So let's not let them play it. There's nothing we can do about it. We could try to skull raid them a little bit early. I guess that's a plan. And maybe cut. Feed the Serpent also kills her, but not before she does some pretty serious damage. What do we cut in favor? I guess raise the Dragor. What did they foretell? They had foretold a Jarl. Okay, interesting. They had foretold a Jarl, and based on their pause, they paused with 2 mana up. They paused with 2 mana up. Nothing foretold on like turn 2. Color black. I guess it could have been demonic gifts. It could have been a raise the Draugr, although I don't think you can cast. I don't think that's an option to cast. Could not have been a village rites. So demonic gifts or the double strikes. No, the double strike spell is 3 mana. Could have been a revitalize, but they would have used it. Could have been a Wings of the Cosmos. All right, it looks like it's just a combat trick that they would have had, and not necessarily anything too scary. Good information to have. Good information to have. So yeah, we'll bring in that Skull Raid with the intention of hopefully getting rid of Kaya. Does this kill Kaya? It does not kill Kaya. And we want to cut a non-creature spell. I think. Yeah, let's cut the Raise the Draugr, assuming they don't have a lot of removal to kill our stuff, I hope. And we'll see how it goes from there. Two-lander with a 2-drop and a Foretell spell. We'll keep that. That's better than the old no-lander that we had last game. So I'm thinking we're just going to... Well, we'll see what they do on 2. It may be better to get the reinforcements going, because then the Massacre looks a little bit better. Yeah, let's look to get the reinforcements going, because then we're looking at Massacre into Cardor or Cardor's Vicious Return. I think we got some stuff we can do here. They might be in some pretty serious pressure if they're not going to match us. Oh, I guess, yeah, we had to cast that this turn, so we can't Massacre into blah, 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 blah. We could actually use Cardor's Vicious Return to bring back Cardor. And yes, I know it's probably Cardor, but I'm going to say Cardor, and you're going to deal with it. We're going to decline that because we're going to sack it to Cardor's Vicious Return, killing that Starnheim Courser. Because why not? And then we'll get in for 2. So yeah, next turn we will discard Cardor. Please don't have Kaya. Braggart, that's fine. That's A-okay. Ooh, especially with a Demon Bolt. Yeah, so we're going to discard Cardor. Bring him back as a 5/4 haste. They are going to discard a Plains. We'll play our Mountain. We'll kill the Braggart, because this card's great. And it needs to go away. And then we'll come in for 2. And then we'll make them discard this last card. Punish them as much as possible. Please just be Kaya. They would have played Kaya. They would have just played Kaya. Feed the Serpent. All right. Now we're in very good shape. Revitalize ain't going to do it because we're coming in for 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's play Blood Sky Massacre. We're playing into a rare Wrath. All right, they don't have the Wrath. That's good. They're going to drain 1 there because an attacking creature died. So we'll play this. You generally should not play around a rare Wrath, but I didn't want to get brutally wrecked there. Boy, we're going to draw a billion cards here, and they exploded, and we're 1-0. We're 1-0. We're 1-0. Oh. Don't play your bombs. Don't win. All right. 1-0 is a good start. Puts me 4-0 on the day with the 3-0 I had this morning. But yeah, to dip back into my impressions, I have 10 drafts worth of experience that show that, for me at least, this format is 3-0 or 1-2. Which to me suggests some bomminess existing. So you're on 2. We then need to find some land. So maybe you're on 2, pitching Draugr. Making sure we get the land, getting Breakneck out. Let's go with that, because that's a nice aggressive start. I'm on... Did I choose to be on the play? Did they put me on the play? 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43 cards. Okie dokes. Yeah, we want to go zoom here. And we're not double spelling for a bit. So let's Immerstrom, pitching Raise. Turning that into a land or a creature. Ooh, not necessarily the creature I wanted. I might just want to turn this into like a dumb little 2/2 or something out of my sideboard. Still no land is a bit rough, but we're going to 5 them here. Hopefully this is not a Serap's Packmate, but it probably is. By the end of the format, I kind of suspect that Serap's Packmate and Augury Raven are going to be too much. They returned to land and they milled their rare Saga, which is very good for us. So we're going to come in for 5. We are not double spelling next turn. So we're just going to go Tergrid Shadow, even though we don't necessarily plan on casting it this game. I really want to get Cardor out. Toski? Sure. Not too much of my concern, and we have a way of getting rid of it. Interesting. So I guess we Cardor, force them to attack next turn. And then we just block Toski with, like, Breakneck. Glittering Frost to land, that's fine. Story Seeker, also fine. Yeah, so we'll just block here. Kennel Master? Yeah. Let's just Kennel Master it up. And let's go like this and this. And come on in for 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're going to chump there. Go to 3. Go to 5 with the lifelink. Land for turn. Okay, so there are many colors here. Looks like green, white, splash black. So there's a chance this shadow is lethal. There's less of a chance the shadow is lethal. Another Glittering Frost. All right. Svella. I will block. Oh, I guess it has to attack if able always, right? So we attack with all. They have to block Kennel Mass. No, they're just dead, right? They block Kennel Master, they dead. They block their... Yeah, they're dead. Die? I don't think there's a single 1 mana green spell that saves us, or that saves them. And then if there is, we're going to go Bloodsky Berserker, Bloodline Pretender. This will become a 3/3. And we'll be in pretty good shape. So, Turgid Shadow, great against Toski. Great way to make them sacrifice that. And perhaps our opponent has closed their phone app. Because, of course, Arena is on mobile now. And so you might be playing against mobile players. And some people's mobile phones are just going to explode into flames sometimes. All right, they have to block that, and they die. Got there. Okay, so we don't know too much about their deck. They've got Svella. Wait, they've got Svella? So they're green, white, red? Green? Why can I not? Why do I think this is 4 colors? This is not 4 colors. This is 4 colors. Green, white, red, black. Look at me counting. So it looks like they're 5 color or 4 color snow. Which is the hotness right now. Influential people are saying that is the thing to do. What influential people are not understanding is that if you're a good Magic player, you can do whatever you want the first week and win. Don't take the first week as indicative of how the format's going to go. Yeah, I think this Hailstorm Valkyrie is just crud compared to like a 2/2. Just because we didn't get enough snowlands. Is there a chance I want removal or something? Not really. Yeah. That puts us up to 15 creatures with the reinforcements. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Go back in. See if we can get to the finals. But if they're multicolored, that of course is the scary thing because they have Toski. Maybe they also have a Kaya and a Nico and who knows what else. I will say if 5 color or 4 color snow ends up being the thing to do for the set, kind of like Hour Devastation, longtime viewers will know where that places this format in my long-term interest. But I have a feeling it's kind of a week 1 thing right now. No drop, I like that. So we'll drop the Liberator just in case we can just get through. Although I think I'm just Bloodsky Massacring anyways, if we can get through. Breakneck Berserker? Do I just want to trade? Now let's try to race them. They seem to think we're in a race situation. So let's slam in. Drop a 2/3. So they can hit me for 3 again. If they don't establish the board, we're coming in for 4 and drawing 2 cards. And I'll probably drop Dwarven Reinforcements for full cost. Because then the following turn we're going to have 8 mana. In which case we can then remove stuff. I think we're in very good shape. They're not going to go for it. So we're not going to get quite as much mana next turn. But let's smash. And then they can kill my 2/1 if they want to. They can kill the 2/1. I honestly didn't care about the 2/1. I cared about my Menacer more. And then, yeah, we're going to drop more Berserkers so that next turn we're going to get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to have 8 mana available. Nothing to do with it because we just have nothing but removal. Masked Vandal. We're not going to have the mana. That's fine. That's fine. That's totally fine. And they're going to foretell a card. Well, am I going to feed the Serpent that? Feed the Serpent that, take him to 10. I think I am. Feed the Serpent that and just take him to 10. Because then this is Going to get in for at least 2. They're going to Demon Bolt it. That's fair. And a pass of the turn. Well, I like that. We're going to get in for 4. We're going to drop a Berserker. We're going to double spell. We're going to get counters. And we're going to foretell this. And that looks like lethal to me. And again, opponent stumbled on land, had land issues, and that was the end of that. Land for turn. So speed of the format is something people often ask about. I think it's a meaningless term. I think it's a super, super, super meaningless term. They whiffed on elves, so they're going to block here and take lethal? Sure. Take lethal? I think it's a meaningless term. I think all formats have varying speeds, and I don't think it should really inform your drafting that much, at least in modern limited. But I will say, I am finding this format faster than I expected it to be, which is interesting because other people are finding it to be glacially slow. But again, stop trying to make conclusions on day 2 or 3 of a format. It takes a while, even with Arena and Twitch and podcasts crunched. Processing time. I don't know the word that I'm looking for. The fact that all of this results in a format typically getting figured out in a matter of days or maybe a week or 2. People still don't know what's going on. It'll take time and the format will evolve. You got to remember that everybody who pre-ordered their 50 bajillion packs for $7 million or whatever they pay got free draft tokens. And so you have people in here drafting who have no clue what they're doing. And that may result in a deck of yours that is bad winning. Look at this one. Although I don't think this one's bad. That may result in you losing to someone who's just playing something so off meta that you weren't prepared for it. And so it's very hard to take conclusions. So this looks like a Dwarven Reinforcements for Tell on 2. Probably a cast on 3, followed up by Bloodsky Massacre. Yeah, it's a keep. We know that much. Looks like they mulligan. This Ravager is going to be pretty good if all of our Berserkers are still on the table when the time comes. They're going to foretell, so we're going to foretell. This is a zombie Berserker, right? It is indeed. So I would love to see nothing here. Clarion Spirit is not nothing. Okay, they are going to try to show me just how good that Clarion Spirit is. We're going to go Dwarven Reinforcements, probably into Cardor, and we're going to respect that Clarion Spirit because we're going to kill it. But we're going to kill it with Cardor. And we'll try returning the Basalt Ravager so I don't even have to cast it. Their own Dwarven Reinforcements. Well then. You done did showed me. And another foretell. We could also just Basalt Ravager kill it. And then we could actually block with Basalt Ravager, and it can come back with Cardor. Do I want to push aggro here? With the removal we've got back, I think I do want to push here. If they just go for a big trade here, I'm super okay. If they just take 4, I'm super okay. Because I will, I think, trade this Ravager for any one of those cards there, probably the Cleric. Braggart? Yeah, we're going to look to Vicious Return that. So we'll block there. Another land. So we've got 5 mana to work with. So yeah, we will Cardor, kill the Braggart. Because Braggart's good. And we'll pass the turn. We're going to have to calm down for just a second here. We'll discard our Dragur, most likely, barring drawing something. We will trade here because I don't think they're going to reestablish their board with the removal that we've got. That's a very good card. We are going to poison that ASAP. Actually, we just have all the removal. Yeah, we're going to pitch the Grim Dragur. Yeah, we have to kill Varagoth right now. So we are going to poison the Cup Varagoth. Actually, Foretell. We could Foretell Demon Bolt it. I just don't trust that one of these aren't a pump spell. They're in white. What are the white pump spells? I just looked this up, right? The white pump spells are +1/+1, +2/+1. Wings of the Cosmos is not Foretell. We do have to be really concerned about the Kaya's Onslaught, though. All right, we have to kill that this turn, so we're going to poison it. And we're going to foretell that bolt. We're going to have to take 3 here, maybe more. But we get back the Basalt Ravager, shoot the Spirit, play the Blood Sky Massacre, have a 2/3, have Demon Bolt up. Ugh. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not the worst. Pretty good. Aggro v aggro. Battlefield Raptor? Okay. I do not respect this card in any way, shape, or form. Alright, so Basalt Ravager. Kill that. Unfortunately, I think I do have to actually probably kill that. So we'll pass the turn. We're going to try to kill that Raptor when they try to get too cute with it. I will block there. Yeah, I'll stop the damage now. So we just take 4 and go to 4. Hopefully they've got nothing. Good, 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 good. We also have nothing. And, yeah. It's the first person to top deck not a land, I think. Congrats, you top deck not a land, and I did. Magic the Gathering is very dated in its design. All right. I've got some good cards. This card is so good. It was in both of my black-red decks that 3-0'd. Did they kill my things? They did not kill my things. They are very aggressive. We need to block 2/1s really well. How do we block 2/1s really well? We make sure that we establish the board. Also, thanks for not showing up my 1 bomb in the deck. Although I would consider Cardor pretty bomby. Which is another thing. When people say a format is bomby, it is very pedantic to be like, well, actually, I don't think all of the rares are good. I think there's some very good uncommons. Bomminess does not have to be rare. Bomminess absolutely is at uncommon these days. Sometimes common even. Barf. I guess Demonic Gifts, that'll help us chump block a little bit better. And we're definitely taking out this Valkyrie. It shouldn't even be in the main deck. That cuts our creatures down too low, though. I think we just have to have creatures in. All right, let's go back in. Let's draw better, I guess. Let's draw a land or 2 less. No more than that. I know you're listening, Arena. Don't give me a no lander here because I said I didn't want lands. Sure. Worst case scenario, we're playing this and then foretelling this. This is much less good against somebody playing Dwarven Berserkers, because they're going to have stuff to sack. Boop. Well, turn 4, we can maybe shoot something. Foretell a Dwarven Berserkers. There you go. Smashy smashy. Foretell this. Yeah, we need them to stumble. We need them to stumble, and we need to not stumble. They're going to drop that Clarion Spirit and a Code Spell Cleric. Okie dokes. They're playing the same game they did last time. Same game they played last time. So we can just play this and kill the spirit. We can play this and then this to kill the spirit. But I think I just want to get as much on the board as soon as I can. So let's just shoot the spirit. And then I'll happily trade this off, if they want to trade that cleric. Boy, assuming this is Dwarven Berserkers, it makes our shadow look so bad. So bad. Although we can attack in this coming turn, trade with a Berserker, Tegrid Shadow, wipe their board, and then we're just kind of in reestablish mode. Looks like they're foretelling and missing a land drop. That's pretty good for us. It's time to go. Get in for 5. They stumbled. But why would they have foretold instead of casting a Dwarven Berserkers? So maybe the first one is not a Dwarven Berserkers. Foretelling again. None of those must be Dwarven Berserkers. I mean, we're Cardoring here. We're absolutely Cardoring. Getting in for 8. If they want to trade, they still take 5. They're down to 5. They have to attack with that spirit. Oh, man. Tegrid Shadow is instant speed. So in combat, so we could attack Tegrid Shadow and like sack, drain them for 2. Oh, they'd still have blockers, assuming Dwarven Berserkers. But yeah, they stumbled on mana. I'm not an arena shuffle truther, but maybe I'm an arena shuffle truther these days. I think it's just that this format does punish stumbling on your land draws, which is weird because you would think that Foretell would help considerably. All right, so they're going to kill that as their turn, and they have to attack me. They're dead. Yeah, they're just dead. All right, we need to see what those spells were. So we're going to go view the battlefield. What were you sitting? Jesus. I mean, that was just... You should have been casting these. You should have cast them this turn. 3 Dwarven Reinforcements? Our shadow's so bad. Oh, our shadow's so bad. Oh, man, if they flood the board, we are boned. Like, we need more 2/3s or something. We just don't have them. Also, if this guy in the final game of this draft could show up, that would be cool. Although he's also not great against those 2/1s. I keep forgetting we even have a bomb rare in the deck. I think we go back in. I think we hope they stumble. Because this is aggro versus aggro. I'll take a 2/1. It'll be my second 2/1. It'll feel better than all the 1/2s, but I would love to break the trend that I can only 3-0 if it's the first draft of the day. So this is a Liberator into a Bloodsky Mass. We need the Swamp, but this is a Liberator into a Foretold Demon Bolt at worst. And if we do hit a Swamp in our first 3 draws, and we got 3 draws, we could be pretty good, especially if there's any stumbling. Codespell Cleric on 1 feels to me like maybe not the greatest hand. Black source, no red source. Oh, is that what? No, they had a red source last game. So there's probably a Foretold whatchamadoodles. Yeah, I want to go with Liberator because then next turn we could attack and make a copy of it. We could also foretell this and have it up on their turn to perhaps kill a Clarion Spirit or something. And of course, if we draw a Swamp, we're just dropping the Bloodsky Massacre. And this might be another missed land drop? It sure feels like it. So if we're trading this in attacks next turn, do we just trade now? No, because if we don't get the Swamp, I do want my copy of it. This is probably an Iron Edge thingy. Another Foretell and a missed land drop. Okay. So let's smash in. Assume they'll block. And I want my copy. Oh, please don't hit a mountain for just a couple of turns. Foretell a 3rd card, miss another land. So I mean, we're going to come in for 2. And we're going to pop our own Dwarven Reinforcements down. Because again, if they just miss a mountain, specifically a mountain, they're going to be in trouble. We need to find a Swamp, but Battlefield Raptor? Well, I guess we're going to respect the Raptor. I don't want to respect the Raptor, but we're going to respect the Raptor. Get in for 6, drop him to 12. Foretell this, and we're desperate for a Swamp now. As desperate as they are for a mountain. Or any land. They've gotten so land screwed here. I wonder if they're playing too few lands, maybe? Because that is a thing. You'll get the best of 1 players coming in and playing 16 lands. But this is their final turn. Foretold a 5th card. Hey, Necromancer showed up. Well, there we go. There we go. I broke my streak. I 3-0'd my 2nd draft of the day as well. That puts me at 4 3-0s. Like I said, 6 1-2s, but 4 3-0s. Which, to get to talking about my first impressions of the format 11 drafts in, I think it's pretty swingy and pretty bomby. I think that's very easily identified in the fact that I have 4 3-0s and 6 1-2s and 1 2-1. Again, it's very early in the format, so it's very difficult to know what's going on. You have new drafters who are messing things up. Maybe my 3-0s are from crushing new players. Maybe my 1-2s are from new players train wrecking drafts, because that can absolutely be a big problem. You can get into a draft, there can be no signals, they can cut you for no reason, and you end up with a bad deck, and in a league, you play against people who maybe did not have to be in that situation. So we'll have to see how it shakes out. My current outlook is cautious on the format. I have enjoyed when both players have played Magic. I have had some very enjoyable long games in this format, and those ones have been very fun because there is a lot going on. But I have also had a lot of snowbally on my side and on their side games where it's just like click the buttons. So we'll see how it goes. It's always a bummer going from, a format that I massively enjoyed to a format that is at least starting out a little bit shaky, but we'll see how it goes. It is, I think, despite a tweet that I sent last night, fun. but we'll see how it goes. Let me know how your first takes on Kaldheim are going. Are you finding it swingy and balmy? Are you finding it not at all swingy and balmy? Let me know, because I've heard both things. I have heard tons of people saying it is the balmiest set they've played. I have heard tons of people saying, no, this is all about the commons and the uncommons, which again doesn't preclude it being balmy. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, you can find me over on twitch.tv/TheManaLeek. I'm over there quite a lot more. Every single Wednesday, at least these days. The community over there is growing. We have a great time and it's super fun. So come hang out. The Twitch replay VODs will start up again. I just haven't had a Twitch stream yet with Best of 3 anyways. So there's been no replays to put up, but those will start next week. You can always find me over at, I always say Facebook, but I haven't done anything over there for a long time. And of course, very importantly, you can find me at patreon.com/TheManaLeek, where you can directly financially help out this channel and keep it going to keep making these gems. Because if I'm going to one-to a lot, these gems are going to go away. So yeah, if you want to help out, you can go to patreon.com/TheManaLeek. That gets you access to the Discord server, where you can find me yelling about formats late at night, posting pictures of food, and we organize our own tournaments as well. What else should I say? Because many of you might be new to the channel. Not much. Check me out in those places, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.